welcome to the Sharpe Show. So happy to have you with me this evening, right about a little bit after 7 p.m. on the East Coast. And I have not had a Sharpe in like a week. I know it is a crazy time for me, as you know, with me out there trying my best to run for governor of New York, trying my best. It has been very challenging, is what I would say. Very challenging. So I've spent a lot of my time, but I always want, to the best of my ability, to do at least one AMA per week. And I'm doing one again this week, and we will have some conversations. As always, though, I want to start off with some kind of idea or concept that is kind of going and rocking and rolling. And that's why I picked one which I saw recently. By the way, if you guys do like this, I know you will, click the button known as Lima India Kilo Echo. Please click that button. It does matter. And of course, share this if you would. Repost this someplace if you would like to. And if you have not already subscribed to the channel, please do so. I know you might think, Larry, you'll always ask me, because it matters. That's why, because it matters. So please do so. If you would, I would appreciate it. All right. So the thing that I wanted to bring up was that recently, some of you may or may not have noticed, Dave Smith was recently on Joe Rogan. I think it was yesterday or the day before. It was very recently. He was on Joe Rogan. And when he was on Joe Rogan, he was talking about the stuff he talks about, whatever. He always talks about his normal stuff. But the piece that I thought was critical in my view, because what I'm doing, obviously, is he said that the most important election this year, so what Dave Smith said, was Thomas Massie's election in Kentucky. Now, I know many people like Thomas Massie. I do too. I've met him before. I've helped raise money for him. I think he's a great guy. I want him to win. Is it the most important election in the country? Many libertarians would say yes. They would jump up and down and go, yes, of course. He's critical. We have to have him in the Congress. I agree. We have to have him in the Congress. But it's not what Dave Smith said. Dave Smith did not say it's critical we have him in Congress. He didn't say it's important that he's a voice for us. He didn't say that. What he said was the most important election in 2026. Now, I happen to be running an election in 2026, in case you didn't know. But there's another independent also running an election in 2026, a guy named Dan Osborne out of Nebraska. He's running. You might go, why do I care about Dan Osborne out of Nebraska? Or why do I care about you, Larry? Why do I care about any of those things? Well, here's why. Again, I'm going to be clear. I don't want Thomas Massie to lose. I want him to win. And I think he's going to win. It seems obvious he's raising tons of money. He's going to win. So it's important, but he's going to win. But say he doesn't. Say I'm wrong and he loses. Okay. How is your life affected? Do you feel bad? I'd feel terrible. But how is your life affected? He wins. In fact, he slaughters the guy. I'll feel good. How is your life affected? How is your life affected if Thomas Massie wins or loses? Again, I want him to win. It's important. We have to have word. But how is your life affected? It isn't. It isn't. I'm not joking. It isn't. And I don't mean to be mean or cruel, but this goes back to what I was about all the time with libertarians. We are so concerned with virtue signaling over anything else that we would say that Thomas Massie's election, which is important, and I care, and I want him to win. But to say that his is the most important election in 2026 because you want to virtue signal? Is that why? Virtue signaling, again, is what matters? Yeah, I'm a bit triggered by this because it's not what matters. But libertarians, it always is. It is important. Don't get me wrong. Keep saying I don't want to diss him. I think he's valuable and important. I'm glad we have him. But his win or his loss does not change this country. But Larry, he's fighting for the Epstein file. He is, but it hasn't happened. Larry, he fights for X, but yes, but it hasn't happened. Osborne's also important. Why? Because there's no Democratic Party in Nebraska at all. That can change the entire system of independent parties across this nation if Dan Osborne wins. That kind of matters. Not just that. I want you to imagine what change would happen if Thomas Massie keeps his seat in the nation, what massive change will happen right now? You can't think of one. You can't. What happens if I win the governorship of New York State? Yeah, a whole lot more. And I'm going to go one step further. Those of you who like Massie, I do too. We want Massie to run for president. Hear that all the time. I'm in. I've said it. I'm in. I hope he runs for president. It'd be amazing. You think he's going to run as a Republican and win? You think so? Really? Like how Rand Paul won? Oh, wait. Or how Ron Paul won? Oh, wait. Or how anyone like that? Oh, wait. No, none of them did. Or how I'm struggling against the Republican establishment here in my own state, run by neocons. That's going to happen? No, if he's going to win, if we're going to have a Massie presidency, which I would be behind 115%, 125%, 100, and you put the number percent, I'm behind. He would have to win via 12th Amendment as an independent party. What independent party could he take? Oh, there's one that would take him in 5 seconds, Libertarian Party. But what does the Libertarian Party have to have for someone like a Thomas Massie or anyone else who would be a viable candidate to come aboard? Oh, right, 50-state ballot access. Otherwise, we're not getting anybody of stature. We watched what happened when we lost 50-state ballot access, didn't we? We watched what happened, didn't we? Yeah, but you libertarians, if you don't have 50-state ballot access, we don't get quality candidates. That's how that works. Huh. What's the hardest state in the union to get ballot access in? Oh, right, New York. And oh, right, who's running for that? That would be me. So if you care about Thomas Massie, as I do, and I hope you do, and you want him to have a chance at becoming president, I do too, the only possible vehicle is going to be a 50-state ballot access Libertarian Party. And there's only one guy who can make that happen in New York State. That's me. And how many times did Dave Smith mention me? Oh, right, never. Not one time. Yeah, not once. Does he really care about Massie? I guess. The number one, absolute number one, highest value asset the Libertarian Party has is ballot access. It's not even close. 50-state ballot access is worth at least $35 million. I'm not making that up. It's at least $35 million asset, at least, if we get 50-state ballot access. So why aren't we working on that? Oh, we aren't. Why? Because we want a virtue signal. The worst part about the Libertarian Party is it cares about virtue signaling more than anything else. Everything else is secondary. Number one is virtue signaling. Everything else is secondary. Again and again and again. You keep seeing it constantly, no matter what happens. Virtue signaling, number one. Impact? Yeah, whatevs. It'll happen when it happens. That's how it works. Again, no disrespect on Massie. I love the man. Met him more than once. Helped raise money for him. I hope he wins. I don't think he's going to win his election. He's going to win. And that's good. I'm glad about that. But to say it's the most important one, I just named two. Obviously, when I'm biased. I actually happen to know Dan also. I like Dan. He's a good guy. I've met him more than once. He's a good guy. Dan's also important too. Both of those are more important. Both are more important than Thomas Massie. In a course of what's going to happen to your lives, I want you to imagine one more time. If Dan Osborne, an independent, becomes a senator from Nebraska as an independent because Democrats couldn't run a candidate because their system's so broken, that changes things. People's lives are affected. Not just that. He's an actual Democrat that used to be like from the 70s and 80s, like when people thought Democrats were like, oh my God, great. Yeah. Not just that. Right now in New Mexico, there's no Democratic candidate, Republican candidate for governor. That race is kind of important too. Are we making it to where all of a sudden now even the two-party system doesn't work? Are we creating one-party states? That's already happening now here in New York. That's what I'm talking about. And imagine if I win in New York. A libertarian wins in New York, the state, while a socialist is the mayor. Are you telling me that's not important? That's not valuable? That's not going to stop and change everything? Oh, yes, it will. Oh, yes, it will. So there are more important elections. And obviously I'm biased to one of them, but I don't care. Still true. Me being biased doesn't mean I'm wrong. It just means I'm both biased and wrong. Both biased and right. Both biased. Either I'm correct. Whatever I'm saying, I'm still correct. So yes. Let me grab some comments if I could. I appreciate all the back and forth. Vivek says it seems like Rand Paul might be running in 2028. How can he take down Rubio and Vance? What can he learn from Trump era and his run in 2016? Here are some things. Rand Paul may run. It's good. I hope he does. I like Rand. Good guy. I hope he runs. The issue is I'm gonna go down a dark road, Vivek, just so we understand this. At the moment, Rubio is the chosen one. At the moment, and I may say it again. At the moment, that could change easily. But if the election was going to be running now, Rubio's going to take it like there's no tomorrow. If it was run now, we'll see what happens in the future. But that's where it is now. Vance finished. And in the future, the only way Vance turns around, if he sees it, the problem that's happening right now, and this is why there was you might have seen this, Vivek, there was actually was it in, I forgot what note it was in. Some periodical put out an op-ed, I think it was, that said that Vance should use the 25th Amendment and replace Trump, right? That was some conservative said that. You might go, it's just some conservative saying stuff. Oh, no. See, Trump is rolling the dice big time. And if he wins, he is going to win huge. And if he loses, he's in real trouble. If he loses his gamble, people are going to see blood in the water. And a guy like Vance, the figurative knives will come out. And he might try some of that because that's his way around Rubio. That's the only way around Rubio. But of course, if his gambles pay off, he's unstoppable and he will bless Rubio, and Rubio is the guy. How does Rand Paul fix that? The only way Rand Paul has a shot, because of how the Republican system works. Well, the system in general, in this case, Republican, how the system works is if Trump's gambles fail and Vance does not pull the knife out, if those two things happen, Rand Paul's got a chance. And even that, it's not a high chance. Rand Paul is not establishment enough. It will be challenging, and he isn't aggressive enough. In other words, you look at someone like Trump, who just doesn't care and screams and yells and such. A chance, maybe. Rand Paul will have to have two things would have to happen. One, Trump would have to fail, and Vance would have to not pull the knife out, and there had to be a huge bunch of people running, like a lot of people show up running. Lars Mapp says that today he thinks Mike Pence is coming back. Well, if Lars is right and a bunch of people show up, like 10, 12 people show up, he would have a shot. Other than that, I don't see it. Any libertarian-leaning person, I think their actual shot at presidency is running in the Libertarian Party, if it has 50 state ballot access, and Libertarian Party focuses on several states to deny 270 votes for the Democrat Republican so they can get thrown to the House and the House can select the president. That is the only path. And that, again, this is not oh my God, it's so easy, just do it. No, not only is that a difficult path, it is also one that has a whole lot of luck involved too. So Rand Paul would have to do that. The stars would have to align for that to work, and then he has to actively do it. Can it be done? Yes. That's his only path. So I hope that makes sense at least. So Phil, thank you for $2. Does the loss for Massie mean more than a win? Does the loss for Massie mean more than a win? So Massie losing, does that mean? I don't think so. I'm not sure what you mean by that. If he loses, is that saying more? Yes. Is there more impact? Okay, meaning. Okay. I think yes, to be forward with you. Him losing, right? If Massie were to lose, I don't think he's going to lose. But if Massie does lose, it is saying that the establishment has retaken the Republican Party. If Massie actually wins, the establishment is totally taking it over. Trump is complete. If Trump can do whatever he wants, so it will mean a lot if he loses. I don't think he's going to lose though. But yeah, I see your point now. I had to think for a second. Yes, thank you for that, Rob. Thank you for the $5. Massie and Ron Paul are the most libertarian candidates we have. True. We need a strong party movement, third party movement. Yes. And look, would they, in theory, be very clear, in theory, would they run as libertarians? In theory, they would. In practice, they won't for two reasons. Number one, Kentucky has what's called straight ticket voting. Utterly unconstitutional, but no one cares about the Constitution in most of these electoral issues. So what happens is you walk into the thing and click Republican or Democrat, and it votes all Republicans or Democrats. So if you're a third party, you have no chance, just zero chance. So that's why, it's not really an answer for them. So they would never do it. But would they do it in theory? Yes. If in theory, when practicing, if in actuality, the Libertarian Party actually had 50 state ballot access, actually had an infrastructure that was strong in every state, actually had ballot access in every state, then maybe. Without that, there's no chance. They're going to lose their seats. They're not going to be able to make it. So why would they lose their seats? So I agree with a third party, but someone's going to do it. I'm trying. HVAT, thank you for $10, my friend. Rubio will never be the Republican nominee for president. The birthers will never accept Rubio's nominee. The birthers think Rubio is a native-born, not natural-born citizen. Oh, is that right? I did not know that. No, but they always make an exception. They made an exception for Cruz. Cruz is born in Canada. They make an exception. Remember, the rules only count for like outsiders. Rubio's an insider. He's a neocon insider. The rules don't count for him. It doesn't matter. He could be born in Cuba. They would have totally accepted. They wouldn't care. Yeah, they'll just change the rules. They ignore the rules. They'll do whatever. The rules only matter for the outsiders. Insiders like him, doesn't matter. They'll find a rule or a loophole or whatever. Doesn't matter. I appreciate what you're saying, but they won't care. So yeah. Mike Voss is in the house. He's hello everyone. While I don't think Massie is going anywhere, I agree with you. Rand Paul either. Yep. It really doesn't make a difference. They aren't linchpins that have limited clout. Nice they're there. That's about it. I agree. I think Mike's right. Yeah, I agree. It's true. I think it's nicer there. I think the Republican Party should have a liberty wing. I think it should. And the liberty wing isn't very strong. So I think it should, but I don't think they're going anywhere. I don't think they're going to lose, but they aren't, they aren't a linchpin. I agree. He goes on to say, as for Dave Smith, also limited clout. His opinions aren't rocking the nation, especially since he is willing to avoid certain candidates who might rock the boat in certain places nationally. I'm not sure about that last part. I mean, look, I think he messed up endorsing Trump last time. I think it affected his credibility. I think it did. But he did what he thought was right. Good for him. He said he doesn't like it anymore, and he's mad and said it was a mistake. Good for him, I guess. All good. But I think his limited clout is because, and he said it. He said it on the Joe Rogan. He says he doesn't do predictions very well. That's what he said. He goes, I'm not good at predictions, which is true. I, though, am. So there we go. I am. Yes. Rob says, thank you for the $5. What if Massie and Ro Khanna run together for president 2020 as independents? I love the idea of that. The problem is it is physically impossible because of the ballot access rules. This is my same issue from before. I shouldn't say physically impossible. It's realistically impossible. Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie would have to raise, I don't know, $2 billion. I'm making that number up, maybe more, to have any chance of winning. They would have to start. They'd have to start this year. I'm not joking. To run as independents, they'd have to start this year and put at least, I don't know, to be sure, to be safe, $50 to $100 million into gaining ballot access, starting this year by supporting people to gain ballot access for their independent lines now. Start that so they have two cycles to get it. Could it be done, Rob? Yes, it could be done. Realistically, though, I don't see it. They would have to start this year together, do that. Then, once they did that, the Republicans would ostracize Massie worse than they already are. A lot of his own people would probably bail on him. Ro Khanna would the same thing the Democrats would be bailing on him. He have to have his own, luckily Massie does have a lot of his own people, so he can still survive. I don't know Ro Khanna's background well enough to know if he has enough bodies where he could survive. If he could, I guess he has some tech bros. If tech bros backed him, maybe, then they'd have to be able to find what is the coalition, right? What's the coalition of voters? Are they looking for 270 or are they looking for the 12th Amendment? Now, 12th Amendment, again, for those who don't know, possible. 12th Amendment is where if neither candidate gets 270, the House then votes and picks. Now, with that combo, the advantage of that combo is that if it got pushed into the House, the odds are high they could win because they're Democrat and Republican. So the odds are high if it went to the House that they would have a shot at getting selected. But I mean, they could do it. If they're doing it for like publicity and such, I think wonderful idea. Like publicity, great idea. Publicity stunt, raising money or something. Nice idea. But to actually win, it's very limited in the current situation. They'd have to start literally this year to get that happening. Could it happen? Yes, but they got to start this year. And they haven't even started yet. So yeah, that's my worry about that one. So, all right. Let me walk down here if I can. All righty. Christopher says, hi from Buffalo. How are you? Greetings from Albany. Good seeing you, Anthony. Appreciate that. Let me know says, local government is more important than federal government. So I think Larry Sharpe winning the New York governor is the most important election this decade. Yes. See, listen to him. Yes, it's true. This decade. Yes. Phil says, hello, normally from Schenectady, but temporarily living in Albany. Oh, are you in Albany now? Okay. Here we go. All righty. Let's see here. Let me grab some more. It's from Buffalo. I appreciate that. All righty. Liberty says the most important is the primary election for Larry Sharpe. Oh, thank you, Liberty. I appreciate that. I love that. Correct. Nosy says New York governor 2026 most important. True. Doc says my opponent in Congressional District 5, Ohio, Bob Latta, had me swatted, and I spent 4 days in the county jail. Wow. Okay. Oigo says 3 days. Still bad, Doc. Still bad. Okay. Some of you may think he's making that up. And I know people who would think that. But let me be very clear. Dirty tricks are the norm. I believe Doc 100%. I do. There are people who are calling that the Republican leadership in my state is actually calling local leaders and saying, don't talk to Larry Sharpe. I'm not joking. They're literally saying, don't talk to him. They're calling my people in my state and saying, or even elected officials, don't talk to Larry Sharpe. Not just that. They are calling petitioning companies and petitioners and saying, don't petition for Larry Sharpe or we will never hire you again. I'm not joking. I'm saying it publicly, right? If I'm lying, they can sue me, right? They are actually calling businesses or walking into businesses going, oh, yeah, Larry Sharpe sign? Yeah, that's dangerous. That's not a good idea. So they're intimidating businesses. People put out signs. People who post on Facebook and on Twitter, they're actually intimidating them. Yes, they don't care. I know of one area where I went to speak and the leadership went, don't let Larry speak there. Yes. Told them, don't let him speak. Yes. So the Republicans in my state, leadership in my state, again, not that the average Republican still loves voting for me. They love me. But the Republican leadership was like, we can't have Larry Sharpe talk because then he might mess up our scam. Can't have that. So yeah, that's a big problem we're having right now. So I'm dealing with that. Daniel, how are you, my friend? Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Absolutely appreciate it. So, all righty. Lunatic says, Osborne's polling well in Nebraska. He is. People like him because he's very much a regular guy. He's a sailor. He's a tradesman. He's a union member. He's very much a regular guy. Yes. So, all right. Let's go says, Massie is pretty on point to my eyes. I agree. Yes. So, all righty. Typical says, Trump derangement syndrome is a linguistic cop-out. I'm not sure what that means. Do you mean when people say that, they're just copping out? I think some are. I think it's true. There's two parts to that. Is there some people with TDS? Yes, TDS does exist. It is a thing. I've seen it. But yeah, you're also right. People just go, oh, you said something that, I don't like about Trump. I just say TDS. Also true. I think both of those are true. Yes. People just go, oh, whatever. You don't agree with me and whatever I think with Trump, you have TDS. And TDS is also real. Like both of those things are true. So Anthony says the most important election is Larry Sharpe's election. True. I'm glad you guys know that. Absolutely true. So, all righty. Marquette says, why didn't Thomas Massie go after the E-files while Virginia Guthrie was still alive? I would love to ask Thomas Massie that question. I don't know, but here's my guess. I do have a guess. I think Massie honestly thought it was going to come out. I think most of us did. I think most of us thought that Trump was actually going to get it out or put it out in some way, shape, or form. I think most people did believe that. I think he believed it too. I think until we found out that Trump was like, well, maybe if, and if you believe MTG, I know some people think she's lying. I don't. I believe her. But I think Trump told her, look, stop pushing this. My friends or my colleagues are going to get hammered by this. And I think it's probably true. I think Trump's done business. Look, of course, Trump's in the Epstein files. Of course, I've said the word. Hopefully I don't get demonetized. Of course he's in. Of course he's in, right? All the people of the 90s who are doing things are in. All of them. It doesn't mean it's something illegal or wrong. It doesn't mean that by default. So I'll be very clear. So far, I have seen no evidence of him doing things with, I'll just say, youngins. So far, I haven't seen that. So I don't believe that to be true yet. I hope it's not true desperately. I hope it's not true. But I do believe that people who he's done business with maybe have done some not so good things, and he is concerned about that. That's what I think is true. That's what he's worried about. And I think when he found it out, he's like, maybe I don't want to put this out. And so I think that's why. I think a lot of people thought it was going to come out, and then he didn't. So yes, that's what I think. All righty. Let's see here. D says, if Trump succeeds to oust Massie because enough Kentucky echo chamber GOPs vote for Eddie, I hope it's the stick that breaks the GOP camel's back. It might be. It might be, but I don't see it happening. I don't see it. Rob, thank you for coming, member, my friend. Thank you. Yes, I don't see it. I don't see him losing. I mean, maybe he will. I don't see him losing. I don't. He's still popular. He's raising money. Yeah, I don't see him losing. And I said before 1,000 times, leave Massie alone. Doesn't make any sense. So yes. Typical says, that's why I asked Delgado to endorse you. I don't know if it'll work. Hey, maybe you should reach out to him. If you have a contact, I'm happy to. I don't think I have any contact to him or his people, but I'm happy to reach out. I'll take every endorsement I can get. So yes, I will. Yeah, I like that. Maybe I should. Team, if you're listening, Delgado, let's try that. Maybe that's the answer. Give it a shot. So, all righty. Let's see here. D goes on to say, I would argue that some people have MDS, massive derangement syndrome. I think you're right. I think some people just hate him. That's true. I think some people really hate him. I think you're on the money with that. I think you will find some people who are just like, Massie's evil, he's bad, because Massie's been fighting Trump and people don't like it. They call him a Democrat and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah. D says, Larry, if Massie loses, do you think any third-party voters will trust the GOP or Trump ever again? Ooh. I think if Massie does lose, again, I don't think he will, but I think if he does lose, a lot of people will lose faith in voting, period. I think you'll find a lot of people check out, which we're seeing already happen. Even more people will check out. I think that will be the actual piece. So yeah, they'll just start checking out. That's what I think will actually happen. So yeah. All righty. Let's see if I can grab it if I can. All righty. Oh, I got some more people. So okay, let me grab some of these if I can. All righty. Lunatic in the house. Thank you for $5. I have no political idols. I want the service to be of service. Yes. I want liberty and freedom. Yes. Not oppression and construction. Constriction of my liberty. Yes. Larry went, I'm trying, brother. Guys, look. I know a lot of you want me to win. I do too. I'm trying my damnedest. It is not easy. The establishment is going out of its way to stop me. Out of its way. As I said, calling people, telling people to not support me, threatening people if they get behind me, telling people to not let me speak at their events. All these things are happening again and again and again. There are literally venues that I try to go to that I can't go to, that I know other people, Republicans and Democrats, have spoken at before. So we go for them and they say no to me. Only to me. Why? Because someone calls them and goes, don't let Larry Sharpe speak. Literally that happens. When I was at the convention, Republican convention, I couldn't speak. Yes. No. No nomination, no speaking, nothing. Yes. Guys, for those of you who want me to help out, you can still help me out. As I tell you all the time, head over to LarrySharpe.com. If you are a Republican in New York State, if you haven't already, download and print out the form. Larry, I don't have 8x14 paper. I don't care. Print it out, and whatever you can print it out, I need signatures. I don't care how many. We are still behind, guys. We are behind. I wish we weren't, but we are. We are still behind. I need more signatures. I need more. We can go on until April 1st. April 2nd, last day. Mail those things into me by April 2nd. Get them in. By close of business April 2nd, mail those things into me. April 1st, our last day. Start mailing them April 2nd. Get them in the mail to me, and the address is right there on the front of my website, LarrySharpe.com. Mail them in. I have to submit them by April 6th, so I will go through them and submit them. By the way, I will personally be submitting them April 6th in Albany, and the press will be there to say, yay, look what Larry's doing. So I will be submitting them April 6th. Hopefully I'll have tons and tons and tons. If I don't, still submitting. Doesn't matter. I'm submitting no matter what happens. So we are behind those. So we need to get up, rock and rolling. If you have not gotten out and gotten you and a loved one, assuming you are a registered Republican, and had them signed, shame on you. If you watch this show, if you are a registered Republican in New York State and you haven't signed yet, what's wrong with you? Get out there and sign it. You need it. It doesn't kill you. Print it down, sign it. If you're a registered Republican, have someone else witness it, give them that sheet, have them sign it, you witness it, fold those 2 sheets of paper in an envelope, put it in the mail it to me. Done. That easy. Just give me 2. I'll take it. 2 is good. I've gotten over 100 because I go off. And tomorrow I'll be if those of you want to come out and see me, I'll be at the St. Patty's Day Parade tomorrow in Bayside, New York and Queens. Come on out. I'll be marching and getting signatures. So if you want to come on down, do that, please. We have until April 1st. Right? So please keep getting signatures until April 1st. On April 2nd, finish up your last bits and mail them out to me. So I will get them on the 3rd or the 4th because I have to submit them by the 6th. I will be submitting them that Monday on the 6th in person, and there will be press there to say, look, Larry's submitting. He is fighting a good fight. So get behind me. I need you to. But for now, click the like button. That's easy. That's easy. You don't even have to be in New York. You don't have to be a Republican for that. Just click it. Easy day. Darren Christian, thank you for $10. He says, the green energy programs are waiting out the Trump administration. Keep a close eye on hydrogen and foreign influence, and that through the NYPA has our water target of hydrogen harvesting. Okay, hold on. So green energy programs are... Oh, so you're saying after Trump is out, so 2028 he'll be gone, right? 2028. That's when ooh. Why wouldn't Daniel? Why would Trump be against this? It's a whole new thing, right? Is it because of foreign influence? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm getting why they have to wait. I feel like, particularly in places like New York and California that have, very friendly Democratic governors, why wouldn't they jump on board? I would assume that guys like Newsom wouldn't care what Trump would think. I would assume that. Maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like, why would you wait? You get extra cash? Maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I'm missing something. Ryan, thank you for the $2. Massey/Afroman 2028. What a great ticket that would be. You know how bad I would love to be that communications director? Ryan, I'm in. Let's hope that happens. It'd be amazing. Phil gifted a membership. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm going to walk down some more, Daniel, and see if I can, if you put anything else out there, I'll see if I can find some more links. I'm not sure where you were going with that one. So if you put one in the comments, I'll see if I can find it if you want to kind of figure that one out and go further, because I'm not sure where you're going with that one. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I didn't get it. Maybe you got to explain to me better. Maybe I didn't get it. So, yeah. All right. John says, to everyone, go to your local BOE and get a walking list of registered Republicans in your neighborhood so you can go door to door. Oh, it's amazing. There we go. Thank you. Yes. You can get a walking list. There we go. There we go. Jim Lee says, the only politician I voted for that actually won was Amash. I like Justin Amash. I think he's kind of done now. That's what I think. So, yeah. John goes on to say, my petitions are in priority mail. So what do you like? Thank you. I unfortunately printed my petitions at a Liberty, government funded, no less, at a library, sorry. And the paper was 8 by 11. Don't care. Totally good. Yes. Totally. I need signatures. I'll take them. I don't care if they're 8 by 11. I don't care if they're napkins. I will take them. I will take them. I don't care. I will take them. Just to be clear, I'll take it 100%. I don't care. So, yes. Rob says, I live in Michigan. I wish we had Larry Sharpe in our state. We had Justin Amash, and I wish he'd run for governor. Yeah, the problem is, Justin, the Libertarian Party isn't strong enough for him. right? It doesn't have enough power and oomph. And the Republicans in that state, as I always talk about, the Republicans in my state or similar in Michigan, they are establishment. The Republican leadership is not going to let a guy like him do anything, just like they don't let me do anything. So I'm fighting too. He would fight also. I think I'm just crazier or dumber than him. One of the two. I'm not sure. So yeah, maybe that's it. Kaiwan says, it seems like Thomas Massie was wrong on the e-files. I believe in more of what I forget Michael Tracy said about the FC files. It seems like Thomas Massie's not really. I'm not sure where you're going with this one. Maybe I'm lost on this one. Hold on. Why do you think he was wrong? Maybe not effective. He didn't get it out because they blocked it. Maybe that. I'm not sure I understand what you mean by being wrong. You have to help me in that one, Kaiwan. Ryan says, Trump worship syndrome is just as dangerous as Trump derangement syndrome. Okay. Anyway, am I the only one with Pete Hegseth fatigue? You are not alone, my friend. You are not alone. Lots of people feel that way. Yes. Bronna says, it is sad most people believe the e-files were released. You're right, Bron. That's my point. I think most people did believe that. Yes. Most people thought it was going to happen. I think most people thought Trump was going to be anti-war. I think most people believed it. I know Dave Smith did. Most people believed the e-files would be released. Most people believed Trump would be anti-war. Sadly, neither of those are true. I wish they were, but they're not. I think most people believed it. Yes. D says that. Oh, there's a couple more things she said. Hold on. Was there something else here? Okay. Hold on. Margot says Ro Khanna voted against the Riley Act. He's a despicable character in my eyes. See, there's the point, right? You bring up a very valid point. There are going to be people on both sides of that Massie Khanna thing who hate them. That's why I'm saying the only way that works, I think, is 12th Amendment. You have to focus on areas where there isn't that anger and where you can get a couple of, states that would maybe, you could turn, maybe some swing states, maybe you could turn. Maybe that's about it. I'm with you. I understand what you're saying, and I think you're right. So yes. All right. D goes on to say, been working on Larry Sharpe getting a Mark Case podcast, what seems like forever. I'm hoping we are a little closer than what we were yesterday. Mark said, what happens in New York can happen in your state. True. Yes. True. That's right. So, okay, cover that piece. And G Husky says, when it comes to purchasing handguns, have you heard of the Glock ban New York State's pushing? They're going to ban everything. Everything. That is what we do in New York State. I'm mad, ban stuff. I'm mad, ban stuff. That's it. I keep saying, people, I was at an event last night and there were people that are going, you don't understand, Larry. There's some New Yorkers, we want our gun rights back. I'm like, no, we don't. Lots of New Yorkers do, but as a state, no, we don't. There is literally in my state, no movement, none to actually get any firearm laws reduced, any firearms like this. That does not exist. It's not a thing in my state. I'm the one trying to make it happen. To your point, there's more gun laws coming. And somebody at the event was like, yeah, but they'll be knocked down by the Supreme Court. And that matters because why? New York State doesn't care about the Supreme Court. New York State doesn't even care about the Bill of Rights. That's not a thing in my state. In New York State, the Bill of Rights is the Bill of Suggestions. It's the Bill of Rights. It's the Bill of, what are you going to do? Maybe. It's the Bill of, what are you going to do? That's what it is in my state. So yes, I know that. I see it. And they'll block whatever they can. After the Bruin decision, where the Supreme Court said the gun laws in New York State are illegal, Kathy Hochul said, you know what? Take 10 more laws. Take that. So yes. Looking over at Instagram, Gibson says, did you get petitions signed at the Republican Club yet or get endorsed by them? I did not get an endorsement, no, but I did get, yes, I got about maybe 10 or 15 signatures, maybe 20. I got a bunch. So yes, I've myself gotten over 100 signatures. So I hope you guys do it. Look, I cannot point my finger at you until I point it at me. I cannot, tell you to go do something I wouldn't do. I've collected signatures for other people and for myself. So I'm asking you to do it. Why? Because I've done it. I'm doing it. You could do it. That's what I'm saying. I've done it. You could do it. So yes. So thank you for that. So I did not get an endorsement. I didn't think I would. The guy who runs it is a big Blakeman fan. So don't think I can get that endorsement. So yes. So, all right. Gibbs goes on to say, do you have enough signatures to debate Blakeman now? Okay. For the primary. That's not how it works. I'm going to answer your question. That's not how it works. You are not required to debate unless you take matching funds. If you take matching funds, you're required to debate. If you don't take matching funds, debating is optional. So whether I make the primary or not does not mean I get to debate Blakeman. If both me and Blakeman take matching funds, which I hope we both will, then I will be able, then we'll debate for sure. If not, it's a choice. He can decide, I can decide. It's a negotiation. So that's how New York State works. If you take matching funds, you must debate. If you don't, you don't have to. So sadly for us, Kathy Hochul is not taking matching funds. She's not required to debate. She may not. I think she will, but she may not. She doesn't have to. She's not debating. That's how it works in New York State. So just so you know, Gibson. So thank you for the question. Yeah, that's not how that works. So yeah. Anyway, that covers that piece. All righty. Phil says Amash has better hair and wears tailored suit. True. That is true. Yes. He actually has better hair than I do also. And wears nicer suits. I used to wear tailored suits back in the day. Those days are long gone. I'm not doing that anymore. No more. But I'm still better looking than him. So take dirt, Phil. Take dirt. So yes. All right. Let me move on if I could. The piece that I brought up that I want to bring up here is what Bronner brought up. A lot of people believed, and Bronner, I say this often, people usually believe because they want to. Because not believing for a lot of people is actually painful emotionally. And you might think that's silly, but I think it's actually true. I felt it myself. There are things I wanted to believe, so I did, because not believing it just felt too damn bad. So I wanted to believe it, so I did. And then afterwards, I'm like, oh yeah, that was dumb. I believe that was dumb. But I know why I believed it, because it just felt too bad to not believe it. So I think people often see that with our judges, with our laws, right? Bronner, the judge, they're going to do the right thing, right? Of course. Why? I mean, that's not true. But of course they want to do that because I don't want to believe they won't do it. I don't want to believe our judiciary can be bad. I don't want to believe it. So yeah, sadly, yeah. D says, oh yeah, we already went down that one already. Liberty Samarka says, I think maybe an Amash Massie could be winner. I'm on board with that too. But popularity right now, I think Massey's more popular than Amash now. So I might have to swap those two. But I would take either one, Liberty. Either one, I'm good. I'm in. I cannot wait to be the communication director for that. I'm in. Yes, yes, and yes. Now it says, when has the House ever chosen the president? I believe twice. 20 something, and Jefferson, the third president. So like 1805, 1800s twice. I forgot when, but 1800 two times it was done. 1800s. So yes, it has happened twice before. Jefferson and one more. I forgot the other one. I'm gonna forget. I'm sure someone will Google it. But yeah, 2 times Jefferson and one more. So there we go. All right, I'm grab some more of this if I can. HVAC says, Libertarian Party keeps shooting itself in the foot by endorsing Republicans and posting crass BS on social media. I'm talking about ULPH. Yeah, well, they have their own thing. They have their own thing. Yes. Christopher says, e-files, I'd assume, will be dragged out over time until no one cares anymore. I think that's you. I think you've hit it, Christopher. I wish you were wrong, but I think you are right. I was hoping that they would come out earlier. I wasn't sure whether they would, right? But a lot of people did. But I was hoping they would come out faster. I really was hoping that. I don't know when they're going to come out. If they're going to, who knows? Who knows? So yeah. Logic. Oh yes, Danny's in the house. Lovely Danny. She says, a lot of people bought into Trump's grift. You're right. And look, for those of you who are more left-leaning or who don't like Trump or voted for Harris or vote more Democrat, I understand why you'd be bothered by this. I do. I just want you to recognize something. Whatever you think about Trump or what he did and all these things, this could have been solved by the Democrats. The same garbage that Republicans are doing in my state right now, not allowing for a primary, not allowing for the people to discuss, is what's going to make sure Bruce Blakeman loses this damn thing. He's the Kamala Harris of the New York State GOP right now. Now, I hope that doesn't stay the same, but it does look that way right now. With that in mind, all the Democrats had to do was run a primary. If 2024 Democrats ran a regular primary, and they could have, they chose not to. Their people wanted them to. The elites said no. One of two things happens. Either Harris becomes a better candidate and she wins, or more likely, she gets her butt kicked by a better Democratic candidate. Why would that matter? If you have a better Democratic candidate, two things happen. One, it's either RFK Jr. or RFK Jr. stays with that candidate and doesn't go to Trump, which means Trump's coalition doesn't coalesce the way it does, which means Trump wouldn't have won all 7 swing states. He might have lost the election. Who knows? That could have happened. You had a chance by running a primary. You might have got a better candidate, and or you don't lose RFK Jr. Who knows? Trump might have lost that election. Who knows? But what do the Democrats do? No, go to hell, take Harris, move on. What are Republicans in my state doing? No, go to hell, take Blakeman, move on. Same thing. Same thing. Doesn't end well. That's not how that works. So yes. Lamino says, do you think you will go on JRE again? Once I'm on the ballot. What I found out the hard way, boy, did I find out the hard way, is when you are not on the ballot, boy, nobody cares about you at all. When I was on the ballot in 2018, everybody was like, oh, we love Larry Sharpe. He's a great guy. Larry Sharpe, that's my man. Love Larry Sharpe. Then in 2022, when the Republicans sued me off the ballot, Larry who? I don't know. Larry Sharpe? I don't know who that guy is. All of a sudden, no one knew who I was. So sadly, being valid and being real in the media's eyes is being on the ballot. You might say, Larry, it doesn't matter. You're the same guy. Clearly, they would disagree with you. If I'm not on the ballot, I'm going nowhere. If I'm on the ballot, yes, I will be. That's how that works. If you're not on the ballot, no one knows who you are. And I wish it was wrong. One exception. I'll give you one exception. My favorite, 100% favorite, number one Liberty personality on TV, radio, whatever the case may be, is, of course, the one and only Lisa Kennedy. Kennedy was good to me and had me on her show even when I got booted off of the ballot, even when I got my butt kicked. She was still good to me every single time. She still had me on. She supported me. She was still respectful. She was wonderful. I will always remember that. I will always love her. I will always adore her. If she ever needs anything from me, she'll just ask. I will be there because she was very good to me. Almost everybody else, Larry who? Is Larry Sharpe? Never heard of that guy all of a sudden. So that will answer your question, I hope. If I get in the ballot, yes. If I don't, no. I wish there was something else that mattered. That's what does. Ryan says, at least here in Missouri, young people are more anti-war and discuss it at the government. Well, here's what's happening because of that. If you lean left or you're a Democrat, you got to be feeling good right now. Because, boy, the Democrats are motivated. They're out and they are voting all over the place. If you see it, you watch them. They're winning all those local elections. They're winning all those special elections. The youth is getting out there and voting. Democrats are motivated and out voting. Republicans are not. They are not showing up. I see it all over. As I cross this state, I have trouble getting signatures because people go, I don't care. Whatever. I'm out. No thanks. Don't need it. No thanks. I don't care about politics. So Republicans. Republicans are broken in New York State for sure, but across this country, they're not as motivated. It's just easier when you have the orange man bad thing sitting in the White House. It motivates Democrats. I know some of you who are more right-leaning get mad when I say it, but orange man bad still works. It does. It seems crazy if you lean right. I get it, but it does work, right? You can be mad about it. It motivates the Democrats to go, oh, we got to stop the orange man. He's evil. Go get him. Trump's the worst. We got to go get him. And they get out and they go. They do. And the war now, well, that's Trump's war. So that's the bad war. See? That's the bad war because it's Trump's war. So that's the bad war. So we hate that war because it's the bad war. So we're going to be against Trump on that one too. And it's very easy to do. Grossly evil. The best part of Democrats is the Democrats want this war too. It's not they don't want it. They want it too, but they can act like they don't want it and just say it's Trump's war. And sadly, it works. It does. They can be like, no, and because here's how you know that the Democrats are fighting not on the war, they're fighting on the process. See, we need more information and the process, which means they want this war too. But it's very easy to say, well, Trump's evil and he's just rushed off and taken us into this war. We would have never done that. Democrats, we're the party of peace. Utterly not true. But if you're a Democrat, this goes back to my earlier point that Braun was talking about. If I'm a Democrat, well, I want to believe that my party's peace, and I want to believe that Trump's the evil man who kills people. Of course I want to believe that. So when my propaganda team tells me, see, it's a Trump war, and he's the bad guy, and we're all the good guys of peace, I go, that makes total sense. Yes, let's go get the evil Trump guy. Totally works, consisted again and again and again. So, yes, I wish it didn't work. It does. So, yes. John says, it's frustrating they will go automatically with Blakeman just because he's Trump's boy. Well, let me be clear about this piece, right? This is the problem that we have. If you look at right now at our state, you find that people are voting for Blakeman right now because he's the Republican. I think I'm making that up. Look at his X, his Twitter or his X. It says literally, I'm the only Republican running. I mean, that's a lie. He's not, but that's fine. He says it. That's it. He's not saying I'm the best candidate. I'm going to fix things. Here's my plans. He doesn't have any. She's not going to say that. I'm the Republican. So why don't I get your vote? Yes, indeed, because I'm the Republican. That's what he's saying. And you might go, well, Larry, that gets him a lot of votes. It does. He's not wrong. That's going to get him a lot of votes. He's not wrong. That's a lot of votes. But the problem is, if you swap him out and put somebody else in, they get the same votes. People aren't voting for him because, oh my God, it's Bruce Blakeman. That's not a thing. They're going, okay, he's not Kathy Hochul and he's Republican, so I guess I'll vote for that guy. That's what he's getting right now. Now, a lot fewer people vote for me. It's true. A lot fewer do. But the people vote for me, vote for me. I can be on any line. I could be on the Larry Sharpe line. In fact, true story, Andrew Yang was teasing me. He said, Larry, you should make your party the Larry Sharpe party. And while he's joking, his point is it doesn't matter. The people who like me, like me. So the people who do vote for me, which of course is much smaller than Blakeman, it's because they know me. So I could be on any line. I could be on the Larry Sharpe line. They would vote for me. I could be on the Democratic line, Republican line. Doesn't matter. The people who like me and vote for me are going to vote for me on any line. That's the issue. But I would get a whole lot more from being in a Republican line, obviously, because then I get all of his votes plus mine. That's the advantage. I'd get all of his votes automatically because he gets it because he has the R. So, yes. All right. Thank you for that, John. I appreciate it. All righty. Let's see here. I'll grab some more of these. D says, yeah, I have a feeling at the DJT Kings County GOP Club had a few established Republicans in the event, and the guy running it wouldn't be quiet and let Larry speak. Well, no, the reality of it is I didn't mind that at all. I was very happy they went back and forth, D. I was very happy that they went back and forth fighting it like there's no tomorrow because I want them to know that I will answer the questions. That doesn't matter what happens, right? It doesn't matter. I will answer anyway. I will go back and forth no matter what. When they ask me how tough questions, I answer them. I didn't go back to, well, Hochul's bad or Trump is evil. I didn't do any of that stuff. I kept going. So, yes. Rona, the ads are bad. It's weird. Sometimes I don't get how YouTube works. I tell YouTube I want to wait like 20 minutes in between ads. Like I get to put in how long? It's like 20 minutes. So you shouldn't get more than 2 or 3 in an hour. We've only been an hour and you got 6. You should got maximum 3. Probably more like 2 is what you should have got. 3 of it. Wow. And the worst part is even if I demonetize, YouTube will still put ads anyway. And I get nothing. So YouTube will make ads. I'll get nothing. Or they'll put ads. And when I tell them 20 minutes, they'll do it other. I'm sorry about that, Bruno. I'm trying my best to, yeah, it is what it is, I guess. So, all righty. Let's see if I can grab here. I grabbed that already. No, it says believing and having hope is different. True. Yes, it's true. Yep. HVAC says, I thought e-files would be released, but only against Trump's enemies. That would have been cool, but the problem is there's too much. Yeah, I get that would have been cool. He would have been good for him to do that, but there's just no way. There's There's two ways of getting around. There's too many ways of getting around that. So yes. HVAC says Jackson/John Quincy Adams. Okay, there was the other one. Thank you. There we go. It was 1800s too. Also, there we go. So it was. Thank you. I knew somebody would do homework. I knew somebody would. It was Jefferson and that. So there we go. There's the two. I do appreciate that. All righty. Phil, thank you for $2. Orange man fixes everything means you can do nothing. Ooh, I like that. You're right. Why do anything? Because Orange man will fix it. He's got you. He is your savior. What was he saying? Whatever he was, he is your whatever thing he is. He's gonna save us all. He's gonna do that. So I guess that's good. I guess so. Yeah. Hold on. I gotta find what you just talked about here. Hold on. I'll look for it later. Sometimes I want to look at what you guys are talking about, but I'll see it. All right. Let's see here. Nosy says, I would have voted for a better Democrat candidate. You are not alone, Nosy. And people don't believe that, but you're right. If either Kamala would have been a better candidate, that was option one, right? Or if she would have if they would have gotten another candidate out there who was better, either one of those would have worked. Either one would have worked, and neither one happened. I completely agree with you. You are correct. I've heard that more than once. So, all righty. HVAC says, 1824. Thank you. Gracie says, Sean Hannity remembered you. He looked dead in the camera and said, don't vote for Larry Sharpe. That's all he said. I remember that. Yes, I remember that. In 2022, I'm not joking. In 2022, Fox News, Sean Hannity said, don't vote for Larry Sharpe. And here's the worst part, Gracie. I wasn't on the ballot. I wasn't. He was like, he was worried that enough write-ins would vote for me and stop Lee Zeldin from winning. That's a true story that actually happened. She remembers it. Gracie remembers it. Yes, that happened. I was like, I guess I'm famous now. Sean Hannity said, don't vote for me. So yes, he did. He was that worried because even back then, after I got my butt kicked off the ballot and I was no longer on the ballot, I was still polling in Republican pollsters, McLaughlin, the Republican ones. I was still polling. Trafalgar was another Republican one. I was still polling at 3%. Off the ballot, I was polling at 3%. So yes, I'm glad you remember that one. I do appreciate that. That was good. So we're trying to move that. Liberty says, I love Kennedy too. I do also. I see her all the time. I see her every year at Freedom Fest. We are both ambassadors of Freedom Fest. So that's why. HVAC says there is no party of peace. True. Well, there is one. It's just not strong enough. It's called libertarians. There is one. It's just not big enough. So, yes. All righty. Let's see here. Ryan, also huge fan of Kennedy. Yep. That's all good. So, D says, what do we have to do to have a Larry Sharpe party near? I'm going to get in the ballot as an independent party. I can be a libertarian party if I want to. I can be the Larry Sharpe party. I can be the Larry-tarian party. I can be the Freedom Party. I can name whatever I want. Doesn't matter. I can name whatever I want. I can make my party whatever I want to name it. Doesn't really matter. Right? So I could make a Larry Sharpe party. That's why he was saying, call it the Larry Sharpe party. I could. But the advantage of doing something like that, D, is that it would be interesting and I get some press. Do I really want to have a Larry Sharpe party? I mean, maybe. I don't know. I'm open to the idea. Maybe I'm missing something. At the end of the day, if I name the party whatever I name it, the question is, do I want to make it a Libertarian Party affiliate? And as long as the Libertarian Party in nationally says, yes, we'll accept it as affiliate, it becomes Libertarian Party affiliate. So it doesn't matter what I name it. The actual name of the Libertarian Party prior to becoming an actual party was like the Free Libertarian Party of New York or something like that. It wasn't actually called the Libertarian Party of New York. It wasn't. Once it became a party, I know I'm the one who got it as a party in 2019. If I won in 2018, we then submitted rules in 2019. That's when it was called the Libertarian Party of New York. Prior to that, it was not called that. It was called the Free Party, something like that. I forgot what it was called. But we had a different name. That's true. So I can name whatever I want. I can name it the D is Amazing Party if I want to. Does not matter. Remember, there was a Rent is Too Damn High party. That was an actual party. Name whatever I want. So thank you for that, but I could do it. So Emilio says, Larry Sharpe party line. I like that. There we go. HVAC says, Larry, Blakeman's plan is to sue the Republican Party ballot. Yes. We had a Republican candidate for governor here in Iowa trying to sue another Republican off the Republican. Yes. But here's the worst part, HVAC. Why do judges do it? Judges should say, no, I'm not letting you off the ballot. Why would I do that? You want to be on a ballot? Be on a ballot. There's no harm to being on a ballot. The whole concept. When I'm governor, I'm going to stop that. I'm going to say, stop throwing people off the ballot. Just stop. There's no harm to having people on the ballot. It's terrible. So, yeah. Anyway, Mike is there. He says, it looked great when the Blakeman people tried to find a way to make him look good, and you simply factually shut them down and gave them a resolution. True. That did happen. Yes. So, all righty. Liberty Shamrocka says, I've had quite a few ads tonight as well, more so than usual. I don't know why they do that, guys. I apologize. I don't know why, but they just do it sometimes. I'm not sure. So Michael's on to say, I was there and the crowd reacted positively when you made it clear that solutions defeat feelings, not just Hochulbach. Yeah, I agree. Yes. D says, Blakeman's lieutenant governor lies about Larry Sharpe. Yes. I asked often on X if Blakeman lies like Todd Hood on Bruce's post. That's good. I like that. Absolutely. So, yeah. All righty. Bronna says, if Sean hadn't told me not to pee in my pants, I'd do it. I like that. That's good. That's pretty good. Please don't do it, by the way. Please don't. I'm asking you, please don't. So, yes. All righty. Ryan says, I respected Trump until we started listening to Lindsey effing Graham. I think a lot of people went down that road. I think people were like, no, Trump's his own man. Even if they disagreed with him, they were like, Trump's his own man. But I think when he started going down the more heavy, like Lindsey Graham, Marco Rubio road, more of that, I think he lost a lot of people. There is, particularly youngsters, there is a semi-civil war going on right now in the Republican Party, the youth versus the older ones. It's just true. It's happening. I see it everywhere. People calling me, telling me. I get phone calls about it. Yeah, it's absolutely happening. Yes. So I think it's true. A lot of people are concerned. So I do. I mean, when it comes in general to Trump right now, what he is gambling on. I told you he's gambling on stuff, and he is gambling. If it pays off, he is going to be a hero. If it doesn't pay off, boy, he is going to take a bath. The question is, where can you find out some details about that and what people think about that? There's a place. You know it was civil. It is indeed civil. And let me show you if I can. Every single time I have a show, I show you something interesting or cool that's on civil. In this case, this is from Dad Saves America. Iran's oil chokehold. Has Trump's Iran gamble backfired? Well, has it? He's going to talk about it.
Oil was first discovered in Iran and Iraq in the 1930s. And it's been gushing out of the ground ever since.
When you have money coming out of the ground, you've got liquid gold, and you get to sell it and then exchange that money for other stuff. What could be better than that? It turns out quite a bit, and it brings with it.
This has not always been a good thing. For those of you who know, having a bunch of natural resources, not always an advantage. Sometimes not. So is it going to backfire? Is Trump's thing going to work? He gives you some ideas and some back and forth. You can agree, you can disagree, but he's going to give you some facts, tell you his opinion, and it works without the conflict machine, without the back and forth of attack of you're dumb because you love Trump, you're dumb because you hate Trump. Not that. A guy saying his opinions with some facts behind it, and you can decide, nah, he's wrong. Oh, yeah, he's on the money. Doesn't matter. This is what Civil gives you. It's civil.com, CIVL.com. The code to join is Larry10. Larry, the coolest name on the internet, plus 10% off. Pop on over to see me. Every single show I give you something interesting, something new. This is just 7 days ago. This is new. There is new content popping up on Civil every single day. And there's old stuff that's still valuable too. And there's some stuff that's only me on there also. There are 6 We Fix It Wednesdays only on Civil. But Larry, I want to watch it outside of Civil. You can't. You have to go to Civil to watch those specific episodes. It is code Larry10 for 10% off. Civil, CIVL.com. We are upgrading civilization. They are a sponsor of the show. Support them if you can. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate the assistance. All right, let me keep going down these roads if I can. I have so many of these if I can. All righty. Let's see here. Ryan says, Larry, with the Hannity saying that is a badge of honor. Yes. Both his TV and radio shows are the most boring crap. Literally says, I'm liking the Larrytarians much better than Libertan. Oh, I remember Libertan. Yes. I like Larrytarians. And I've said that often. There are, in New York State, there are a significant amount of Larrytarians. People who just remember me. They've met me someplace. Remember, I've been crossing my state for 8 years. So I've been going to every county in my state for the past 8 years. So there's a lot of people who've met me, who know me. If you see my polling, I poll as just Larry Sharpe Independent. I poll at about 8 or 9% across my state already. So I still get recognized in the state. People do know who I am. I mean, not like I'm a celebrity. It's not that. I mean, certain areas people like to really know me, but they know who I am. So yeah, I think I could do Larrytarians. Maybe that's the answer. Braun is there. Okay, Braun, I got a couple people who like the Larrytarian piece. Maybe it is kind of weird. So, well, no, you know what? There is a LaRouche party. They like LaRouche, so maybe I'm copying him. I'm the LaRouche party. Could be. I could be like a Ron Paul party, something like that. That's not bad. Maybe not. Maybe. Nosy says, MAGA is collapsing, in my opinion, after the C key. Yes, that piece is bigger than people think. I know some people like, oh, does it matter? Oh, it matters. The amount of youngsters who've come to me going, I don't know anymore. I'm not sure anymore after that. What happened? Who did it? Yes, you are. That is a thing. That absolutely is a thing. Yes, 100%. So, all righty. Let's see here. Dominic says, Sony already announced that they increased the price of their game consoles due to AI market taking all the RAM away. The video game industry is effed. But not just that. Video games are terrible now. The amount of people I know who play old video games now, I mean, has at least doubled, if not tripled. There's a lot of people who used to go out and buy the new video game and buy the new one. Now they're like, it's garbage. It's trash. I'm not buying it. I know a lot of people now who are no longer buying the cool video games. They aren't doing the thing. They're just not doing it. I'm seeing it constantly. So yeah, the system is messed up either way. So yes. D says, have you taken the world's smallest political quiz or read on articles in the Advocates? Well, there's something else. The Advocates actually, D, thank you for asking that question, actually have something new. Yes, they do. They have something new. And that new thing is, boy, something I think you want to do. And that is another single issue survey. But this one is immigration enforcement survey. Oh, some of you are going to want to take this survey. Yes, you will. Popping over to theadvocates.org, click the link that I specifically have on my description, the one that is actually on Facebook, on YouTube, and or Rumble. Click that specific link so they know that it's me it's coming from. Yes, they are a sponsor. Please do that. Click on over there and take this new survey. It's new. You have not taken it before. Larry, I've taken these surveys. Not this one. Not this one. You can take it. What is your view on federal agencies declaring immigration a national security crisis? Select the one that's closest to you. Illegal immigration is a genuine security threat that requires strong enforcement. Crisis farming grants federal government excessive power that threatens everyone's liberty. This rhetoric dehumanizes immigrants and is used to justify violating their civil liberties. What's closest to what you think? Click the one you think is right. I'm just going to click the one in the middle, cuz I'm not telling you which one I would pick. I'm just saying for this. The next one. What is your opinion on ICE conducting expedited deportations without full court hearings? Deportation without judicial review gives federal bureaucracy too much unchecked power? Or fast-track removals violate due process rights and lead to wrongful deportations? Or expedited removals efficiently enforce a law to deter illegal entry? You see where we're going already. When you go down these questions. When you're done, after you're done, do me a favor. Share it. Share it. Get other people to take it. These types of surveys are interesting. People like them, and it gets people to come back to theadvocates.org. What I want you coming back to the Advocates for Self-Government, because I want more people understanding we can have more self-government. We don't need so much government. We can do it. So please have them go here. They're a sponsor of the show. They help me out. So please head on over there. Take it. You haven't taken a survey. It's new. So stop saying I took it. You didn't. You liar. You didn't. So take this survey, and when you're done taking it, share it. Sharing it does matter because that gets more people to come back here. It's free. Cost you nothing. They are a sponsor of the show, theadvocates.org. All righty. So I appreciate that tremendously, guys. So yes. All righty. Ken says, now I want to call Hannity and randomly drop your name. Would you? Amazing. Yes, please do that. Yes. That's awesome. The United States is either retro games or indies. Correct. I'm seeing that everywhere. Lots of people, right? For those of you who know, I think I mentioned this in a show like a year or two ago. One of the games that I've loved to play since it first came out was a game called Civilization. Some of you may know the game if you like, kind of grand strategy type games. I played the board game. And then when Civ 1 came out, 2, I played all of them, 3, 4, 5, 6. I didn't even bother buying 7. Didn't bother. I knew it was a hunk of garbage. I didn't bother buying it. And if I ever play Civilization, I play Civ 6. I don't even go to 7. And the worst part about this is, for those of you in the Civ world, if you see the other online players who play the games, they're all back to playing Civ 6. Even though the 7 is out and they made changes, like, no, it's garbage. And it's garbage. And why is he going to say, well, it's the wokeness? It is, but not because of the wokeness. Let me be clear. I don't care if you want to be woke or not. I actually don't care. The problem is what they've done is they focused on the wokeness, and therefore the game suffers. So, Larry, well, how do you fix it? What if you want to be woke? Again, not mad at me woke. I don't care. Be woke. I don't care. Not my thing. And I'll give you an example that made people upset. A leader if you ever play the civilization game, it is leaders in different civilizations, and they run different civilizations throughout from like 4000 BC until like 2050 or something, right? So it's a multi-millennia game, right, of growing civilizations and such. So one of the Americans leaders are people like Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin, he wasn't one of our leaders, right? He wasn't. How was he our leader, right? They just put this guy in here, right? Okay. Not that I'm mad at Benjamin Franklin, but that's like to show it doesn't have to be a president. It doesn't have to be a leader. No, you want it to be a king or a pharaoh or a leader. That's why you do the game. That's why you play. Oh, you don't play the game, right? They also put Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman. Don't get me wrong. Love Harriet Tubman. Watched the movie. Took my kids to see the movie. Love her as a hero. She's a folk hero, and she's an American folk hero. 100%. Leader of a nation. Now, again, is that a bad thing? If you want to have it, but what they should have done, just to make sure I'm not mad at this piece, make a really good game. And then have a separate DLC for people who want to be more woke. I don't mind that. You want to have, whatever. Insert woke person as your leader. Great. Buy the DLC. And then that person comes in and you can play whoever you want to play in your game. But they made it part, and they led with her. They led with Harriet Tubman. Again, not against Harriet Tubman, but you led with her. She's a folk hero. It was to be woke. They focused on that, and they weren't focusing on the good game. Focus on the good game, then put all your stuff on top. I'm good. Some people love that stuff. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. You can make RuPaul your leader. I don't mind. It's totally fine. Give me a good game. Buy that stuff over here. Anyway, I saw it. It was obvious. And everyone's saying it's a garbage game. Of course it is. It's a garbage game. So, and that's throughout all types of stuff. I shouldn't have said, if Mike's watching, Mike is going to give me a paragraph and probably yell at me and call me later and tell me how bad, because he jumps in this all day long. It is terrible. So, yes. Michael says, hold on. He says, there's a Call of Duty 2 that's an old. Yeah, I see it. I remember one of the things that was happening there too. They were making, was it Call of Duty? I think it was Call of Duty. They were talking about snipers in World War II. Remember the complaint. It was they wanted to have women snipers, if I remember right. And I wasn't mad at the women snipers. There were women snipers that existed, but basically they were almost only Russian. There were some Russian women snipers. They did exist. So you think, okay, so then, Larry, they made a part where you could be a female Russian sniper because they existed. No, you could be a sniper like a women sniper like Japanese or something. There were no Japanese women snipers. That wasn't a thing. But you could be that. So yeah, they focus on other things, not good gameplay. Focus in the game. Put the other stuff on top. And you know what? Not just that. Don't force the message. Let the people who care about that message. If you want to have the thing where you're the Japanese female sniper, wonderful. Buy the DLC and you could be that. But why are you forcing it on others? Make a good game. Let other people put that stuff on top. Totally fine. Anyway, I'll stop now. No, it says Sharpetarians. I like that. Sharpetarians, that's good. Yep. All right. Adam says the Monroe County Libertarian Party went out tonight, gathering signatures in downtown Rochester. And 77, an hour and a half. As soon as Hochul's name mentioned, signature appeared. Oh, so good. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Brona says Sharpe-tarian is my vote. I like that. Sharpe-tarian, I like that. That's good. I like that. That's good. So there's Mike. I knew Mike would say something. Mike's a bigger gamer than I am. He's a bigger gamer than I am. Compared to being gamers, Mike's a much bigger gamer than I am. Some of the best games cost $20. Project Zomboid, Banished, RimWorld, Vane. Is it Elin? I don't even know it. Got over $500, 500 plus hours each. There we go. Much bigger. Adam says Civ 5 is the best. Make sure you get the DLC. I like Civ 5, but I also like Civ 6. I like them both. But I now, because I've done it so often, I prefer Civ 6 now just because I've done it more. But yes. Michael says the woke DLC and the conservative DLC and libertarian DLC and the centrist DLC. What's wrong with that? I love that idea. I'm not mad at you wanting to play who you want to play. Let it go. But focus on the good thing first and then move on. So Dominic says, do polling companies ever contact you to ask for inclusion? How does that work? No, Dominic, that's how it works. How it works is whoever buys the poll decides who's in the poll. That's how that works. I learned that the hard way. That's how that actually works. I now write polls. So if people want a poll, they'll call me. I'll write the poll for them and send it in. And I'll add who I want to add on it. That's how it works. Whoever pays for the poll, that's who decides who's in it. Polling companies don't decide. The person does. So yes. All righty. Josh said, hit that. Yes. Hit the like button. I agree. Yes. Adam says that was Battlefield. Oh, Battlefield. Thank you. Thank you. That's what it was. Wrong one. Not Call of Duty. Thank you. I'm not that great of a gamer. I'm sorry. Yes. It was Battlefield. Yes. I'm a lightweight gamer now. I used to be. I was a gamer like back when like Doom was out and like Half-Life was out. Like that's when I was a gamer. Now, not much at all. Not much at all. I enjoyed Half-Life and Half-Life 2 very much. I enjoyed Doom 2. I enjoyed those very much. After that, I'm like, I started going away. Here or there, I played some games here or there, but not as much as I could have at all. So, yes. Grace says, if I can get you on one media outlet, which or what would it be? I think what would help me out in my race would probably be it's a tough one. Probably ABC New York, because most people who watch local WABC New York TV, most of them are going to care and are going to vote. So I would say that's a good one. So yes, if I only got to pick one, I think that one. But to be forward, I would take any of them, right? I think I would take any of them. Yes. Let's see here. D, you deducted no tomorrow. That's good. D says, Larry, where are you meeting up tomorrow for your Saturday petitioning event? PS41 in the parking lot. Yes, is where I'm going to be tomorrow. Yes, I'll be tomorrow. For those of you who want to come out and see me, I will be in Bayside, New York, getting ready to march in the St. Patty's Day Parade. We're going to meet at PS41 in the parking lot. Please come see me around 11 a.m. Please come see me around that time. Noonish. Noonish, maybe it's better. Yeah, do noon. Is it noon? Hold on. It is noon, right? I'm sitting there talking trash. I can remember my own thing now. What's my own thing now? Hold on, let me get it if I can. I got to find my own thing now. It is noon. Sorry, not 11. Noon at 3406 214th Lane in Bayside, New York. It's PS Public School, PS 41. Meet up there. I'm going to march in the parade. Go get petitioning. So yes, petition. But if we can, hopefully like another 100 or so. If I can get another 100, if I have 200, you guys all have a couple hundred here or there, 100. All of a sudden we start making a bunch of petitions. And Dee's yelling at me and she yells, it's noon. It is noon. Thank you. D is correct. She is yelling at me. Stop yelling, D. I got it. It is noon. So yes, we'll see how that works. We will see exactly how that works. So yes, he just gave me a heart attack. Yes, it's noon. I have so much stuff going on, D. I sometimes forget where my head is. I don't remember what planet I'm on half the damn time. So yeah, exactly. Mike says playing Pong doesn't make you a gamer. True, it doesn't. You're not wrong. And I did play Pong, by the way. Came out in the 70s. I did play Pong. So I did play that game, but did that make me yes, that's true. But Mike, you and I are old enough. We played in the arcade. Like we played games in the arcade. So we remember those days. Kids now, who knows if they do or not. All right, I'm going to ask you guys if you could, please click the button known as like Lima India Kilo Echo. If you would please share this if you have not shared it already. It doesn't matter. If you're not subscribed to this channel or page, please do so. Guys, for those of you who are out there petitioning for me, please get out there. If you are a registered Republican in New York State, at a minimum, go to LarrySharpe.com. Download and print out the form. I don't care if it's an 8x11, 8x4. I do not care. Print it out, sign it, get another Republican to witness it. Do not witness your own signature. You must have someone else, registered Republican, witness your signature, and shove it out into the mail and get it to me ASAP. Last day of signature gathering is going to be April 1st because I want you to get it out by April 2nd. You can do it if you want to, but I want it out by April 2nd so I get it. I need to get it so I can submit it April 6th, Monday. I'm submitting them April 6th, Monday in Albany, and there will be press there when the time comes. If you are a registered Republican, get out there and get other people to sign also. Do you have friends, family, anyone around you who is a registered Republican? Go get them. Knock on their doors. Do what it takes. Go out into a place. Go get your family, a restaurant, whatever. Get them. Larry, I can only get 5. 5 is amazing. I'll take it. I need lots and lots of them. I hope I can get 20 bazillion of them. I need lots. They must be registered Republicans, and you must be a registered Republican to witness. Please do so. If you don't do so, and you are a registered Republican in New York State, you are saying you don't want change in this state. That's what you're saying. Don't fool yourself. Don't think anything else is true. If you are a registered Republican in this state, in New York State, and you do not get me signature or signatures, if you don't do that, you are saying you do not want change in this state, in which case I don't know why you watch my show. But that's what you're saying. So get out and do it. I can point my finger at you because I'm doing it myself. I got photo evidence. I go out and I gather signatures. I do it. If I do it, so can you. Head out there if you can. I would appreciate it. And don't forget, of course, after the show, please comment. And I'm going to ask you to comment on, I want you, hold on. Adam says, Larry, I love watching your Brooklyn event yesterday. The Blakeman supporter lawyer, interesting to see how he reacted. Yes, there's a lot of them. Yes, absolutely. HVAC says, Larry, why does New York City call their schools PS and not name? They do. They have both. All New York City schools are a PS and a number, which is PS is public school. There's also SPS, which is special public school. So it's PS, so public school, and then something, 7, 8, 9, 10, 200, and they also have a name. So it could be public school. When I was a kid, I went to public school 56. It was also called Benjamin Banneker. So it has more than, it has both. So there's just so many schools. Remember, the school system in New York City is the largest in the country. There's about 900,000 kids in the New York City schools. So there's so many schools. That's why. So yes. Timothy says, Larry, did you see that Blakeman hired Howard Fensterman as finance chair? Same finance chair as Schumer and Cuomo. Also a big Democratic donor. It's a big club, and you are in it. I know. I'm aware. Yes. I've been saying that forever. Yes. Patty says, ABC, NBC, CBS are owned by the same company, so if you get one, you get all 3. Well, there we go. I like that. There we go. I appreciate that. 100%. Deanna says, getting some Larry signatures. I called Peter Elder today and told him I want a Larry show. Thank you for that. One more. Hold on. One more. Deanna, perfect. Deanna, if you are a Republican in this state, in New York State, I need you to do what she just did. Call or text or email and tell your Republican leadership, whether it's an assemblyman, whether it's a congressman, whether it's a state senator, whether it's a county chair, a city chair, doesn't matter. Tell them you want Larry Sharpe in the primary. It does matter. Every single bit does count. We need to put the pressure on. Thank you so much. So guys, I'm going to ask you to comment after this is over and tell me, why is any election important to you? Why is any election important to you? What are you concerned about for the election cycle? What do you personally care about this election cycle? Do that if you can. And of course, if you're not watching this live, videos pop up. Please watch one of them right away. Mr. Rhythm loves it. Algorithm. I'll be back here on Monday. I'll see you all very soon.